Welcome, everyone. Jeff, I'm going to unmute you for a second so that I can see if I can hear you.
Yeah.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Guys, we're gonna get started here very shortly. Just waiting on everybody to join here. And we're gonna get started right up. All right, stay tuned. Sheesh. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your favorite investor, Mr. Invest with Jay, also known as Jeff Moneymaking Kirkland. Want to welcome all of you guys to this beautiful, beautiful Friday. What's up? I hope every last one of you guys had a wonderful week in the markets, NFP, crazy, crazy week. Hope you guys caught some mad pips. If you caught some pips this week in the chat, I just want you to say, caught some in the chat. Say caught some in the chat for me. I want to see who all caught some pips this week. Using whatever strategy, it doesn't even matter. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And a newborn. Caught some pips and a newborn. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Love it, love it, love it. Guys, we're going to pick back up exactly where we left off of last week. I told you guys I'm going to bring you some valuable information, and that's what I'm here to do. All right. If you guys do have questions, comments, concerns, hold them to the end. I promise you guys we will try to get to everybody's question. I am limited on time today, so we're going to get through this as fast, as quick as possible. But I will make sure I get to every and each and last one of you guys' question. If we have 77 questions, 77 of them will get answered. It is that simple. All right, so just getting started, guys. Basically, what we're going to start back up when we talked about last week, market structure. All right, we talked about who remembers those 3 rules that I told you guys you need to always remember when you're trading. What were they? Somebody type them in the chat box for me. And if you don't know, this is interactive, guys, so I love it. I love hearing from you guys no matter what. What is those 3 rules I told you guys you need to always be concerned about? What were they called? Who was on last week's session? Let's see. There it is. Impulse correction continuation. Perfect. If you, like I told you guys, if you remember those 3 rules, impulse, correction, continuation, you're going to be successful no matter what you do inside this foreign exchange market. All right. I don't want this market to be beating you guys up. All right. But you need to take advantage of every opportunity that you guys have. So, guys, picking back up where we started last week, like I told you guys, the first thing you guys want to do, all right, anytime that you're coming to your charts, you always want to make sure that when you're wanting to get the overall big picture of the market, okay, you always want to branch out. You always want to get out to the bigger time frames on your charts, okay? So with that being said, you always want to start to something on your, like your daily time frame, all right? Sometimes you can branch out to the monthly, weekly, all right? It just depends on, you know, the type of trade it is, depends on, you know, what pair it is, things of that nature. So we're going to just start it off. I got the whole list of pairs here that we're going to go over, starting with GU in particular, my favorite. All right. What you guys want to do, the first thing you want to do is go to the line chart. Okay. This is tradingview.com. Yet again, you want to go to the line chart. All right. Upon going to the line chart, you guys remember why I said you want to connect those little peaks. Okay. Right. First thing we're going to do today is make a recap. Okay. But those little peaks inside here. All right. All those little bitty areas here, right, that some of you guys may define as, you know, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, you know, depending on the type of trend that you're in, all right? You want to connect all these little peaks together, right? And you want to connect it with a trend line, all right? How simple can this be? Simply, right? What you want to always do, you want to start from either the most recent high, okay, the most recent high or the most recent low, right? And you just want to take your trend line, okay, and you just want to connect, go from one peak to the next, to the next, to the next. And what you want to do is you want to extend that line out. All right. Remember what I said there. You want to extend that line out. Think about these peaks as what? As mountains, right? You guys want to think about these peaks as mountains. Okay. Every time a mountain is formed, it makes a new peak. Okay. And one mountain is usually stretched upon another. All right. Upon making that mountain, the first thing you want to do after you draw that trend line, okay, you want to clone that line. Why are you cloning that line? Okay, because you want to box price in. All right, you want to be able to see how far price is going to go up, potentially how far price is going to go up, and potentially how far price may go down. Okay, that's what you want to look at. All right, so when you're looking at this, you don't want to adjust this line any type of way. All right, keep it parallel as possible. All right, and you just want to take that line and you just want to bring it up to the other high peaks that you see. All right, once you get there, you can take your line and you can just drop it. All right, now how do we know that our trend line is accurate? Okay, well, these peaks that we connected here, what we're looking for to make sure we want to make sure this trend line is as accurate as it can be. Okay, we want to make sure that once we looking at these little areas here that didn't connect, we want to see if we can get, when we switch to the candles, that we can get some type of wick or something, right? Let's see if we can get some type of wick here upon this. This is going to tell us if this is valid, right? Look how we got the wicks there, right? Those same areas, right? Just like this area, there was nothing there upon the line chart, right? It was not connected. But once we switch to the candles, okay, you can see how it wicked right there, right? So you guys can see on an uptrend, the best opportunities that you're going to take advantage of, right, is obviously the buy opportunities, okay? You're going to take advantage of all those little buy opportunities each and every single time, you know, those lower highs, right? Take advantage of those, all right? Those are going to be what we also call the pullback, okay? So when we're talking about those three rules, right, the first rule we had was this impulsive move, okay? Upon that impulse, right, what are you going to get? You're going to get that correction. Upon that correction, that's usually going to be your indication of where your entry is going to be, all right? And then chances are from that continuation, from that correction, you're going to get that continuation move, right? This is going to happen in that 1, 2, 3 cycle, all right? 1, 2, 3, all right? It's easy as counting your ABCs, okay? Just that 1, 2, 3 cycle. All right. Now, once price crosses that major trend line, all right. And sometimes, guys, you may see price in some cases scenario where price is going to, you know, go past your trend line, right? You guys need to be aware that that can happen. Okay, that can happen. But what you guys need to understand when you're trading in this market, you need to understand that you want to trade in probability stance. Okay, so you know you don't when you're entering a trade, right? I don't want you guys to focus singly on that one particular trade. I don't want you to put all your attention in that one particular trade. Okay, you need to focus on the probability of all your trades. Okay, it's just like, for example, right? I'll give you guys an example. If I had many trades here, right? This is what the professionals do. This is how their mindset is different from regular traders' mindset. All right. This is how their mindset is different, right? You guys can also do this, you know, when it comes to the web analyzer. Think in probabilities, okay? Think in very, very much probabilities, all right? So you don't want to focus on this one trade here, okay? Because chances are, guys, if you're putting all your attention to this one trade basis, right, your fear starts kicking in. All kinds of emotions start getting in the way, all right? A professional trader, what they do, okay? What the professionals do, this is what they do. They say, all right, I know because I have a winning strategy, majority of these trades are going to win. Majority of these trades are going to win. They don't care about, you know, which one is going to be the loser, right? They know their strategy is going to have losses. But when they start thinking about the probability of the trades all around, okay, that's when they start winning. Don't focus your attention on one losing trade, right? So if you were to enter this trade, for instance, you come here, you had an entry here. Let's say you may have gotten stopped out. You had a stop loss down here, you got stopped out, okay? Big deal. You still had one opportunity that came here to the trend line and it went up. 2 opportunities came here to the trend line and went up. 3 opportunities. These 3 opportunities are going to outweigh this small loss that you have, okay? The moment you switch your mindset to thinking in probability terms, all right, the moment when you do that and don't focus on that one trade, okay, because some of you guys now, I know for a fact, some of you guys, you take a lot of offense to that one trade, right? Some of you guys want to, it's what I call a trade stalker. You want to look at your charts, you know, every 5 minutes. You know, you can't even go to the grocery store, the bathroom. Some of you guys can't even shower, and you're looking at the trades, right? You guys have to be calm, okay? You have to seriously be calm when you're trading, all right? And let the trades do what they have to do. If you have a system in place, such as the web analyzer, you have a system in place, whatever strategy you're using, okay? That is a system. It is a proven system that works. Let the system do what it's got to do, right? You guys can't control this market, right? You cannot control what is going to happen in this market. Let the trades do what they have to do, okay? And I'm going to leave that there. So when we're talking about market structure, guys, right, of course there's going to be times in here where you're going to see losses, right? You could have, for instance, saw this trade right here come right down in here, and guess what? You would have lost this trade. Big deal. You won majority of them, okay? You won majority of them. Even if you were counter trading, right? You still could have had many opportunities. And obviously this is the daily chart, all right? So when we're talking about that 1, 2, 3 cycle, right? Once you have that figured out, that's all that you guys need. The basics. That's the basics of it, okay? So once you see price cross below your trend line and give you a major break in structure, okay? Once you see price give you that huge break in structure, right? This is when you want to basically reset, all right? And you want to reset, and you want to start looking at what other potential opportunities that happen in the market. We never knew when this was going to happen. Okay, we never knew when this was going to happen. We just figured it was going to happen sooner or later, you know, because what comes up must come down. All right. So when we're talking about market structure, I'm just going to lead you guys all the way back over here to this spot, right? Once you saw this give you that nice impulse to move down, okay, gave you a small correction, and it continued. All right. Once you saw that 1, 2, 3 motion, right, this is when you can reset and you can start drawing your trend lines yet over again. So the same thing that you did over here on this side, you're going to repeat the process back over here on this side, okay? So in this case scenario, once we had this, we saw that, we could have easily went right back to the line chart, right? I'm going to take these out. We could have went right back to the line chart, and we connect those peaks yet again, right? We could go from one peak to the next and just extend this line out, right? Watch out every single time, guys. You guys are going to see something. I'm going to do the same thing over and over again. Nothing is going to change. You guys need to understand when you're trading in this market, right? The moment that you start winning, right? Because some of you guys get like this. The moment you start winning, you start getting very cocky, okay? And you start to change things. You start to change things, and you can't do that when you're trading. Everything the word I want to say is consistent. You guys have to be consistent. You have to stay with that same system that you're using to win, and don't change anything, right? Because the moment that you start losing in the markets, the moment you start losing, right? I know some of you guys have been there. The moment you start losing, you want to start changing things up. You want to figure out why you lost here and why you lost there. And you can't do that, guys, right? You guys have to literally learn how to win in your losses. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever heard about that, but you have to learn how to win in your losses, right? Because your losses are going to happen, guys. It is part of trading. It is part of trading. It's going to happen, all right? So the same thing, I'm going to show you guys the same exact thing here. So I'm going to extend this line right out, and you guys are going to see how it works out, right? Second thing I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I'm going to clone it, okay? Guys, please mute yourself. if you are unmuted. All right, please mute yourself. I hear some background noise. Let me see if I can unmute you guys right quick. All right, perfect. Perfect, thank you. All right, so you're gonna clone that line and you're gonna put it at those lower peaks that you see, okay? Those lower peaks. So we can start it right here, right? How can we make sure these lines are accurate, right? Actually, I don't know why this one moved up a little bit. But how can we make sure these lines are accurate? We look to see if we have wicks, right? So we can look at this spot here. Let's just see if it wicked here or if this wicked here, right? When we go back to the candles, you can see now it's accurate, right? So you can see clearly this was a downtrend. What was your best opportunities, right? Your best opportunities were when it came back on that correction, right? Where's the 1, 2, 3 motion? Impulse, correction, entry, continuation, right? You guys see this? Impulse, correction, continuation. Impulse, correction, continuation. 1, 2, 3 movement each time, right? Because you guys know the market is never just going to just shoot straight up. It's not going to do that. It has to give you some type of pullback, right? It's going to have to give you some type of pullback in order for you to get the next entry. Don't be scared when you see this gives you that pullback. Take the trade without fear. Trust in yourself. Trust in your strategy. Trust in yourself. Trust in your strategy. Okay? The moment that this broke out here, okay? Look at this. Look how this right here broke out. The moment it broke out, what did it do? If it doesn't give you a retest, you don't enter, right? If it doesn't give you a retest, you don't enter. Impulse, what did it do? It corrected itself back to the trend line. And what
These people just regurgitate. They know how to read.
Guys, please mute yourself yet again.
Sounds good.
Please mute yourself.
They learn.
Thank you. All right. So you guys see how that concept is going to work there. Now it's an additional bonus. Let's just work our way back over here. Okay. I'm not going to go to the line chart on a second here. I'm just going to map it out, right? Because I can see where it's at. I can see clearly where it's at, because once you start to do your strategy over and over again, you will start to notice, right, that you can easily pin out and point out those spots in the market, okay? So all you guys are wondering about the big drop, right, that happened this week with the GBP pairs. I told you guys this was going to happen. I told you guys, right? I said, wait for the pullback and then sell again, okay? Wait for the pullback and then sell again. Let me clear some stuff out here, all right? Because when you're looking at your daily chart, right, you don't, like I told you guys last week, you don't have to look back all the way in 1962, right? There's no point, right? Set your charts to auto fits data to screen, right? So it automatically takes you to where you need to be looking at, all right? So this week we were over here in this type area, okay? We clearly saw, if we would have went to the line chart, let's just say right here, right? We could have took these little high peaks here, okay? And we could have just basically connected them, right? It's fine if you guys see this come here, okay? No, eventually it will pull back to that, okay? You may not always get that. Sometimes you may have to put more than one trend line in here to make sense, okay? Just like you see I'm doing right now, okay? Check this out, right? So once you have these trend lines set, okay, you think they're pretty accurate. Like I said, clone them, all right? Put it in a spot where you think there are your lower highs, or in this case scenario, your what we got? We got the higher high, we got the higher low, and then we got the lower highs. Okay, so put it in a spot where you think it's going to go, right? And you're connecting. You want to connect at least 2 or more peaks, right? So I would have drew this off of here, and I would say, okay, I'm looking here. I see this is a clear downtrend. This is why I like to trap price in, guys, because it's giving me accurate information. All right, nothing's gonna change. Right now, look at how this worked out. Okay, look at how this worked out this week. Once we have clearly identified which direction the market is going in, okay, this is where you want to start doing your top-down analysis. All right, and you want to zoom into smaller scales. Okay, so we would have went to the 4-hour chart. Upon being on the 4-hour chart, all right, we would have saw there were so many rejections. We were on a downtrend, okay, right, and we would have been seeing all these little rejections here. What was Monday's date? Monday's date was the 29th. Okay, so let's look back at the 29th. All right, perfect. All over here. All right, so look at this. So when we're looking at this, we were like, eventually this is gonna fall all the way down to here. Okay, when this fell right here, this was the start of Monday. When this fell, you guys knew it was getting close to here. So you could have been potentially looking for that movement up. All right, you could have been potentially looking for this little small movement, but you need to keep in mind it was still on a downtrend. Now, if you start to see that you don't have too much support resistance on your bigger time scale, okay, what you need to do is go back down to an even lower time frame. Okay, the lower you go, this is where you need to start fine-tuning your details. Okay, now what I mean by fine-tuning your details, this is where you need to start putting in things like your support, your resistance, and things of that nature. All right, smaller trend lines, it's still going to be the exact same thing. Okay, when identifying your support and resistance areas, okay, you want to look, you can still use the line chart as well. All right, but instead of you going in a horizontal motion like this, right, instead of you going, you know, slanted, right, you can look at the peaks of the mountains, up an upside down mountain. Look at the peaks here. Okay, and all you have to do is you take from one peak, okay, and you can literally take this tool. All right, and one of the cool things you could do is if you actually take that, if you go to your settings, okay, and you take your price bar here, right, and you max it out to something like 2,000, it's going to automatically stretch that line in the future for you. Okay, now you guys know usually what happens in the past usually happens in the future. Okay, so you're going to see there's going to be rejections when you draw things like your support, things like your resistance inside here. Okay, so I'm going to easily put in here another spot here. Let's say if I wanted to use this spot, okay, I could easily go here, go to my settings, and shift this out to something like 2,000. You know, there we go. Now look how this looks. Okay, look at there. Now it's important for you guys to understand, right? It is important for you guys to understand when you're drawing your support and resistance, your impulse, your correction, and your continuation are going to still happen on your support and resistance. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Okay, most of you guys call it a retest, right? So I'm going to show you something. Check this out. Let's say this is our area of resistance, okay? And let's say we had here a area of support. I'm just going to take this little area here. This is fine, right? I'm going to stretch this out. What you guys are going to be able to see is what price will do. Price will break, once it breaks that structure or that last, your support or resistance, okay? What price will do is it will drop as your impulse, okay? You usually will get some type of what we call an engulfing candle, okay? Do you guys see how this candle right here? Look at how this candle right here overshot both of these candles here. You know, probably was some crazy news event or something. You know, but look how, this is what we call an engulfing candle. Once you see a huge engulfing candle like that, okay, that is your indication on a smaller time frame that is your indication that, hey, I should be looking for the trend to go in the opposite direction, or I should be looking for a break of this area. Okay, but that's going to be your impulse move. Once you get that impulse move, you're going to get some type of correction, right? And that correction usually comes back and it retests back off this area. Okay, I can bring this down actually a little bit. There you go. It retests, come back and retest off this area, right? Where was your entry? Your entry was the market gave you multiple opportunities. One here, one there, multiple opportunities here to enter this trade. Anything off of this was a great opportunity for a sell. All right. So impulse, correction, and look, there was your continuation. Okay. You're going to see this happen on even smaller scales. Okay. Once you get that break on a smaller scale, look at this. Once you get the break on that smaller scale, what happened? You wait for the retest and you sell again. Okay. No retest, no entry. If you don't get a retest, you don't enter the market. Okay. Even when this started switching up and going the opposite direction, what did it do? Came back here, retested, and kept continuing. Okay. It kept continuing. Right. You guys all see that? You guys all understand that concept right there. Right. If you understand that, type I in the chat box. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So when we're doing the markups, what you guys need to understand and what you need to see, right? There's many different patterns and many different things the market will show you in order to tell you which way the market is going to go. And I promise you guys, we're going to try to get through all these pairs, and I'm going to show you, a couple different markups that you could be looking for. All right. But one of the things you guys want to do that helps me out when I'm clearly identifying the way a trade is going to go, right, is what I call flag patterns. Okay. Now, most of you guys probably haven't even thought about this, but look, when you're thinking about a trend, right? Let's take this for example, an uptrend. An uptrend is based of, lower lows and higher lows and higher highs. Okay. So, but one of the things you want to make sure of is looking at the pullbacks. Okay. You guys all see this pullback right here. Okay. These pullbacks. I want you guys to pay attention. This is how you can determine a trade is going to get ready to go in your favor. Looking at the direction of the way that the pullbacks are. Okay. There are two types of pullbacks in the foreign exchange market. Right. This is what I call a slanted pullback. Okay. A slanted pullback. And then sometimes you guys are going to have where the pullbacks are going to look like this. They're going to go sideways. All right. And then they're going to continue up. All right. Sometimes you have that. So you have what I call a sideways pullback. All right. Some of you guys may call it consolidation. Then you have what is called what I call a slanted flag pullback. Okay. And you can also consider the flags to be pullbacks too as well. All right. Guys, please mute yourself. That is the last time I'm going to say that. All right. So when looking at this, guys, all right, on a downtrend, for example, on a downtrend, when you're looking at a downtrend is composed of like this, correct? So you guys are going to be able to see, look at the difference of how these slant. Okay. And you may also have a downtrend that looks like this, right? Where it goes sideways. Okay. And may continue. Right. But you can determine it based off the way that the trend is. You have sideways. All right. Based off the direction of it. Okay. And then you have this slanted this way. So let me show you how that plays a big part when you're looking at the charts itself. Okay. Let me show you how that plays a big part when you're looking at the charts itself. Look how on this downtrend here, right? I'm going to start from this high, right? I'm going to take my little trend line in there for you guys. Right? Let's just put this trend in there. Okay. Look at how you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to draw it in here for you. Okay. Let me change my color. Let's go to black. But look how we have this pullback here. Okay. Look at this one here. All right. We have this whole big one here. This was a sideways here. This whole thing actually was one big sideways. And it kept continuing doing that. Now, not once in here do you guys see, as I'm labeling this, not once in here do you guys see the opposite direction pullback. So that's how you can tell if the pattern, if the move is going to constantly continue by going in your favor. This is why you want to look sometimes when you're trading, you want to look at the higher time frames. Okay, it's going to show you a much larger picture. All right, it's just like if you guys were in a time. It's just like if you was in a helicopter or plane, right? When you're on a plane, right? You are looking at the bigger picture of the world. Okay, that is how you get your wonderful view. Okay, you can't look at the bigger picture of the world if you're on the ground level. Okay, so if you're on, and there's nothing wrong with the smaller time frames, but if you're on the ground level of the smaller time frames, how in the world can you know where this trade is gonna go? The bigger picture. There's no way of knowing and seeing the big picture, what you want to see, the long-term stuff. And it's important for you guys to see the long-term stuff so you can clearly get the direction of the trade that you're going in. All right. So when we're looking, all right, when we're looking at this trade, right, when we're marking our charts for next week, what do we want to do? We want to start with the line chart, okay? And I'm going to show you guys how we can predict what's going to happen next week, all right? You know what, I'm going to back up for a second because I want to show you guys. In Forex, I have a thing what is called the mirror image, okay? The mirror image, guys, the mirror image in Forex is going to always happen, all right? Let me show you an example, right? If you take a triangle, for example, I do this in the most simplest ways. If you take a triangle, and if you were to take a line straight through the triangle, do you guys see how the left side looks exactly like the right side, right? It's pretty equal, okay? Your only difference, guys, in Forex, is that your market makers, they don't want you to see it exactly the same, but they're going to paint you a picture of exactly what's going to happen, okay? And this is what happens, all right? This is big. Pay attention to this. Once you get a mirror image and it has been copied, okay? Once you get a mirror image and that image has been copied, what the market makers do is they have to paint a new picture in the market, okay? So they take the left side and they get rid of it. They just throw it out. They take what was the left side and they say, now we have to make a new image. All right? And this is what they do. They literally go and make a brand new image. What was originally the right side, okay? What was originally the right side, let me see if I can draw this right. I can draw another triangle. What was originally the right side will now turn into will now turn into the left side. Okay? Does that make sense? So they're going to literally flip, and you guys are going to see exactly what I'm talking about, but they're going to literally flip that image and turn it to the next. They're going to turn the image so they have a new picture they can paint. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right? Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, perfect. So look at here. Look at how, if I just randomly choose a spot, okay? I'm going to randomly choose a spot. Let's just choose this one right here, okay? I'm going to draw me that triangle I was telling you about. You know what? I actually have a triangle. Check this out. I'm going to draw that triangle right here, okay? And I don't want you guys, I'm going to blank out my screen. So I want you guys to see something. I don't want you to focus on, don't focus on anything over here. I'm just going to blank all this out. Okay? Now, watch this. Look at how, right? This is my triangle I was telling you guys about. Look at how, if you were to put a line through the middle of this triangle, okay? You guys can see how this left side looked like the right side, okay? Now, once that picture has been created, okay, they're going to take this triangle and they're going to flip it. They're just going to completely flip it, right? And I'm flipping it the best way I can. But they're going to flip it just like this. And watch how you're going to see, that's my triangle up a little bit. But look how you guys can see when they flipped it, they got rid of the left and they said, okay, what's over here on the right? We now have to make a picture on the right. So now, what was the left side of the triangle, which was over here, right, has now been created over here. Do you guys see how this is working out? So if I take my triangle away, you guys can see what was originally the left side, painted on the right. Now the right side has to repaint. And the right side has repainted. Now the right side has been created. Halfway, the new picture has been created. Who's starting to see? Is anyone starting to see what I'm talking about with their eyes? Is anybody starting to see this? How the same thing is literally happening over and over again. Look at this. This is what I call a mirror image in 4X. The left side is going to be what was originally left side will be created on the right side, right? So without even having to draw support and resistance, I'm just being honest, right? Do you guys see, if I was to put a halfway line right here, you guys should all be able to tell me what's getting ready to happen potentially over here, right? You guys see that? Look how this, what was the left side is now being formed over here on the right side, okay? Now, when you start putting things like the support and the resistance in here, you can see here, okay? So, what is my bias getting ready to happen before the end of the year is out, okay? Or sometime soon? What is my bias? They're going to take away, the market makers are going to take away what is over here on the, if I can block my screen out again. They're going to take away what was over here on the left side, okay? They're going to take this little line and they're going to say, all right, what's the next move? And guess what they're going to do? Let me show you what they're going to do. Check this out. They're going to do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. They're going to take this. They're going to flip it. And they're going to create you guys a whole new picture over here on the left side. Does that make sense? They're going to flip it, and they're going to make you guys a whole new picture. Okay? So what am I looking for? What am I looking for potentially coming into next week? Okay? I'm looking potentially to go long. That's right. I'm looking to go long. Because I know this is a big area of rejection, right? This is where you guys have to trust in your strategy. Every time this touched here, what did it do? What did it do? It went the opposite direction. So what do you think I'm expecting coming here? I'm expecting this thing to bounce off of it and reverse. And reverse. Right? So let me teach you guys how you can confirm this. I'm telling you, it's going to be the same stuff. 1, 2, 3 step. Right? How can you confirm? Because if you're that aggressive trader, right, you may just want to enter down here. Right? I can't blame you. Right? I can't blame you. But if you're that conservative trader, you know what you have to do in order to take advantage of the opportunities like this? You have to literally follow those same 3 rules. Right? What were they? You go to the line chart and you start marking things up. Okay? You draw your trend line in here. And this is what you do, guys. Check this out now. I can't make this up. You literally say, all right, I'm a little conservative. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for that impulsive move. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to wait for that correction. And guess what I'm going to do when I get that correction? We're going to be in for a long ride. That is, once you see this happen, if you see this happen, there should be no doubt in your mind where price is going to go next. You should already know. You're going to say to yourself, oh, 1, 2, 3, ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. And you can stay in this, and you can stay in this trade for the long. And, you know, you could potentially have some profits. You can hold this trade. I'm telling you guys, this is coming. Believe me or not. And chances are, if this is going to happen on the major, it's probably going to happen on all the rest of them. It's probably going to happen on all the rest of them. All right? Now, I haven't gotten to talking about candlestick patterns and, you know, the actual candlestick patterns and, you know, the wicks and stuff. I ain't got to talk about that yet, you know? But that's what you guys could potentially be looking for, right? Even if you went to your smaller scale, it's the same thing. You already know price is probably going to rise up to here, okay? So even if you were on your smaller scale, right? Let me erase some stuff. Even if you were on your smaller scale, let's just say you put a nice little trend line, right? Let's say you don't want to wait for that long move, okay? And you put a nice little trend line in here, okay? You come into the market, you mark. You see here, this is a clear area of some type of resistance. It's something happening here, okay? So this is some type of area of support right here, okay? What you could potentially be looking for, and you can mark this up here, right? This is for my counter trend traders, right? what could you do? You could wait for this to break here, retest, and you already know where it's going to go. You already know where it's going to go. If it doesn't do that, it's only one more option it can do. It's going to break here. It's going to retest. And we're going to keep falling. You know, way down there. There you go. There's your trade setup. You look for one or two things, not 4, 5, 6, 7. You're either going to buy, you're going to sell. But you wait for confirmation. It's the same 3 rules over and over and over again. Breakout, retest. That's it. You're literally waiting for the same thing to happen over and over and over again. The question is are you patient enough to let that happen? Are you going to be patient enough? Or are you going to say, no, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop in right now. You know, I got to get this money. And, you know, fast money don't make money. Okay? Fast money don't make money. I'm just going to tell y'all like that. Right? Trying to rush the process is not going to let you get there any faster than anybody else is. I promise you, the trader that's sitting there waiting for they're waiting for that one thing to happen, I promise you they will be more successful than you are. Because they are waiting for they want the market to come to them. You want to know what my mentor told me? My mentor told me, he said, Jeff, look. He said, man, if you want the money, you got to stop chasing it. And I got a lot of mentors, right? But this one in particular told me, he said, if you want the money, you got to stop chasing it. And you got to let it come to you. This market should not be dominating you. You cannot control this market. You have to let it. You literally, if you guys want me to mess with your mind, you have to let this market control you. You have to let it control you. You cannot control it. Because the moment you start trying to control it, I promise you, you will be consumed and you will start seeing your numbers start to decrease because you're trying to control something that you cannot control. And I know you guys have a lot of control problems, right? We like to control a lot of things. You know, hopefully some of you guys don't like to control your relationship, you know, but I know, you know, but some of us like to control things. We like to it's just our human nature. Okay? It's just our human nature. Right? But the moment that you start letting this market really start to control you and you start to move when it moves and let it play the way it's supposed to play out, that's when you'll start seeing your trading start to change. That's when you'll start seeing your trading chart to change. Okay? So let's run through just a couple of these pairs for a second. Right? I'm just going to mark a couple of them up so you guys can have them. Right? I'm going to do it quick. I know I'm running out a little bit of time. All right? So I'm going to do it quick. Same thing, though. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to go to my line chart. Okay? All right? And I'm going to start drawing it out. Something similar to this. I'm going to connect all those points. Look at here. I mean, this is clear as day. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. If you're not looking for a buy on GA, I don't know what to tell you. Look. What happened every time this hit here, right? Clone this line, of course. Don't change anything. Nothing has to change. Look at the rejections, right? If you're that conservative trader, nothing wrong. You can take the buy. You should have took the buy down here if you're aggressive. You'd have already been up. I don't know. 18 pips looks like. No, I'm sorry. That's 184 pips. My bad. Right? But you draw a trend line, and guess what? Impulse, correction, continuation. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a potential move that looks similar to this one, right? For my visual learners, right? Sometimes I'm a visual learner, but there you go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that mirror image. I want a mirror image, okay? Some of you guys like to trade Bitcoin. It's the same stuff. Nothing changes, right? Let's look at Bitcoin, the daily scale, right? All I have to do for you guys is really just tell you this. Okay, Jeff, what's going on here? Well, I don't know. What does this look like? Looks like a mirror image to me. Why did this start to pull? Look at it, mirror image. What am I looking for? Potentially just to keep going up, honestly. Right? Look at the trend lines. They're a little bit different. Okay? But here we are. Oh my gosh. Look, this was most recent. You guys could have caught it right off a trend line, right? Could have went to the line chart. Same. Let me not change. Right? Line it up. Okay? Best way you can. You know, you can clone it if you like. Recommend it. Box price in a little bit. See where it's going to wiggle to. Okay, look at there. Where do you guys think Bitcoin's going? Come on. Simple stuff. That's my next target. Don't know. We don't know what it's going to do when it gets there. We don't. We don't know. Zoom into lower time frames. Okay, here we are. We can start putting in things like support, resistance, trend lines. Okay, here's a nice area. Resistance. Okay. We had support down here in this area, right? But if you want to get to the smaller scales, look at all these wicks. We're right here, right? If we get an impulsive candle, we could break here. And we're coming here. Where's my mirror image, right? Bitcoin moves differently a little bit, but look. I'm starting to see a mirror image, aren't you guys? Look at there. It's the same stuff. How are we not taking advantage of this? How are we not taking advantage of what's really happening in front of our faces? It doesn't make any sense. The market is literally telling you what it wants to do. It's literally telling you. But you guys have got to get out of your self-sabotaging thoughts and emotions. You cannot bring emotions when it comes to trading. You have to do this. It's exactly like some of you guys still work 9-to-5 life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just like your boss tells you, I want you to leave I want you to leave what you have at home and come to work and live the work life. And then your wife or your husband may say, I want you to leave that work life and come home, right? You guys have got to leave that emotion life and you have to come to work, because if you treat this like a job, okay, you're going to treat it seriously. This job is the highest paying job you're going to have in your life. I promise you. It's going to be the most highest paying job you're going to ever have. But you have to start treating it like that. This is your money. The money is right here in front of you. You guys realize in this market, you can determine what your income is? Like, has that just really dinged to you guys for a second? You can determine what your income is. All right? So hopefully you guys learned something tonight. I know I'm running out a little bit of time, okay? But it's okay, right? You're a gold trader, 4-hour time frame. Here you are for gold. It's the same stuff. What should you be looking for gold come next week? I don't know. Jeff, what is it? I'm telling you right now, I'm probably going to be looking to sell that bad puppy. Look at this. I'm looking to sell this bad puppy. And if it breaks here, guess where it's going? Way down here. Right? Same stuff. It's the same stuff. Take advantage of what you clearly see. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the mic up. All right, we got a little bit of time here. I'm gonna go ahead and open the mic up for questions. All right, I'm taking questions at this time.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Could you please go over the mirrored part? Could you go slow so I can get it? You going a little too fast.
All right, I'm sorry. But check this out. Okay, so look at here. All right, we can use this for example. Okay, look how if we were to put a halfway line right through here. Okay, see that? You see how if we were to let me do this. All I want you to do is pay attention to the left side. Don't pay attention to none of this over here. Okay? Now, what the market is going to do for you, okay? This is what the market is going to do for you, okay? They're going to draw you an image, okay? This is where your first image started. Your first image started here. It came up. It came down. Came back up, okay? That was your first image. So what they had to do, they had to redraw that image. It may not look the exact same, but you're going to see the similar movement of it, okay? And you're going to see how it reacts off this, okay? So look at here. So if that was the halfway line there, right? Actually, I extended that too much. If that was the halfway line there, all right? What looked like over here on the left side is going to get repainted over here on the right side. Okay? Look how it got repainted right back over here on the right side. All right? You saw this looked exactly similar to this over here. All right? Do you see that? You see how this looks over here on the left side? How it looks the exact same over here on the right? Okay?
Yes.
Now what happens is once the right image has been copied on the left side, they have to remake a right image. Okay? So once this right image was made, they said to themselves, okay, I need to make what was the right image and is now the left image. I need to make it over here again. So they remade it again. Okay?
Can you mute us out? We can't hear you.
Right.
Okay, can you hear me? My question was, when you took like the left side and you kind of copied it, it was in blue to copy it to the right side.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part I guess I kind of missed.
Yeah, the
so
bars pattern too.
Yeah, that's just your bars pattern. You can use your bars pattern, and
Okay.
you can literally copy that left image, and then I just flipped it, and there you are, right there. See?
Okay.
Just like that.
So you have to copy the amount of candles,
right,
and then there's a thing to flip it or something.
right. I just right click it.
Okay.
I just right clicked it, and then I flipped it. If I wanted to mirror, I can mirror it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. All right. What other questions you guys got? All right, this is open to anybody. If you got questions, let me know. This is what I'm here for.
Jeff.
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
How you doing today?
Great.
Where do you start the mirror image at, from the beginning of the day chart?
So it just depends on how your trading style is. If you're a scalper, you want to go down to like your lower time frame. Okay. Now, when you're using the auto fits data to screen, it's like I said, it's going to show you where you're going to automatically go. So exactly how I went from the daily and I went to the 15-minute. If you're a scalper, you can look. You just have to kind of eye it out, and you have to say to yourself, okay, as this right here, this left side, if you were to eye this out, would you say this left side has been created over here already?
Yeah, I think I see it already.
Right. You can see it? So then you have to say, okay, well then the right side has to be created. So then you take this, you can literally take that line and look what's starting to happen on your smaller scale already. That left side is starting to be created. What was the right side now? Well, it's turned to the right. What was the right side, which is now on the left side, is being created over here on your right side. So gold, what am I looking for? I'm looking for gold to drop.
Right, a sale. Gotcha.
That makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Okay, I have one more question because I know other people have questions. I went on TraderView today and tried to start marking up my charts, but I didn't even know how to access it. I got in there and I seen something like Apple. I don't even know how to get into the regular pairs to even create the chart. So I guess I need to know how to get in TraderView. Like, what do I do next once I get in?
So once you go to TradingView, okay, you'll be prompted with a screen like this. All right, you can literally go in here and type in whatever pair you need. All right, you click on it. I like FXCM as the broker. You can click on it. Once it loads up here, you're gonna see this little tab. It pops up over here. It says full feature chart. You click that, and it's gonna bring you right up to this, whatever screen you want, whatever chart you typed in.
And when you mark your chart up, do it saves?
Yeah, it says you there's a setting in here where you can have it automatically save. Yes.
Okay. I guess I just watch the video. I would figure it out.
If you need help, just write me offline and I'll help you out with it. It'll be good.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. What other questions you guys got?
I have a question. So like when you mirror it, so that just tells you that if the left side says that it's going up and it's going back down, but the next side is doing the same thing. So that's just saying that you're just doing the same thing. So buying if it's going up. So like you see where you have the line is at, right? It's going to, you're going to buy.
You talking about this line here, this black line?
Yeah.
No, so when I mirror image it, okay, it's just like if you were looking at yourself in the mirror, okay? If you stuck your left hand up in the mirror, right, it's gonna look like your right hand is stuck up, right? But you're gonna have that same hand, you're gonna have the same hand, sticking up. So
right.
Exactly, literally, if you were to get yourself an laminate paper, okay, and you were to basically just flip everything that you saw and literally flip it, you'll get that same image on the opposite direction. So if I literally took this here, right? If just think about this line as a mirror, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this line that I drew here as a mirror, right? This is your mirror. So everything on the opposite side of the mirror, it's gonna look exactly like it, but it's gonna be facing itself pretty much.
Okay.
That makes sense. It's gonna be facing itself. So I'm looking for a sell because I wouldn't be looking for a buy, because if it was a buy, it'll be like all the way up here or something, right?
Right.
And that wouldn't be a mirror image. That'd be like, that's some scary stuff right there. That's some horror movie stuff.
Right.
You look at yourself in the movie. If you look at yourself in the mirror like that, you see something like that. You may want to stay away from it. I'm just saying. So stay away from stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you.
So good question. Do news affect the mirror image? Yes, news can affect the mirror image. It can actually make the mirror image. News can make the mirror image. All right? So you can definitely be aware of that. But typically when you're trading with market structure, news will go in your favor. Okay? News will go in your favor when you're trading market structure.
So Jeff,
Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, when you're doing your analysis, or when you're drawing your trend lines and your support and resistance, are you starting with the 4 hour and then adding lines as you need to on the smaller time frames?
I am starting with the daily, and I'm
Okay.
doing a top-down analysis from daily. I'm moving to 4 hour, and then I'm zooming into a smaller scale. I get all the way down to the 15-minute.
Okay. And then for your support and resistance lines, which time frame are you drawing those on?
So I'm usually drawing those on any time scale on the 1 hour and 15-minute.
1 hour. 1 hour and 15-minute for the support. And that's the same whether you're scalping or trying to swing?
Now, if I'm strictly scalping, I stay mostly on the 15-minute time frame, 15 and 5. If I'm scalping, but
Okay.
if I'm swinging it, then I'm mainly paying attention to like the hour chart. If I'm just holding, if I'm just gonna hold a trade out, I'm just gonna pay attention to like the hour chart.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good evening. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you tonight for this training. I have a question for you. When it comes down to the mirroring, how do you know where? Because I'm still trying to identify it by looking at it. How do you know where to put that black line to say I'm gonna cut it right here and flip it on the next side over? I'm still trying to see that.
All right. So the best thing is there's not a specific spot exactly. Okay. It's just one of those things as once you become familiar with trading, you'll start to see the same stuff. Okay. One of the ways you can do it, all right, is you can look at different patterns, like what we call double tops. Some people call them M's, some people call them W's. Double bottoms, whatever you want to call it. All right. So one of the ways you can do it is that you're gonna really, majority of the time, you're gonna get something that looks like an M or a W. I don't know if you've seen it before, but if you see that, you can literally just take it and put a line down the middle of it, that M or that W. Okay. Now let me show you what it looks like. All right. That's just like if I was looking right here. Okay. Look how this looks like an M.
Right.
Does it not?
It does.
But I have not got that other side of that M yet.
Gotcha.
So I know to put my line somewhere in between, right inside here somewhere.
Gotcha.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Gotcha. So then you'll just cut it there and then flip it to where it is now.
You got it. I'll just cut it right here.
And if it was a W, you'll cut it from the opposite side and flip it again over on the other side.
You got it.
Bet.
That's just like, this was a W down here, right?
Yep.
If you probably can't really see it too much, but it was a weird W, but it was a W, right? The whole W started here. I would have cut this in half before that, obviously before this side started, but I would have cut this in half right there. And I would have been looking for the same thing to happen on the right side.
Got it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
I have a question.
All right, I got an answer.
Hello?
Yep. How are you?
Can you hear me? Okay, how
Loud
are
and
you?
clear. Great.
Okay. Great. First of all, thank you for the training tonight. I've learned a lot. But my question is, you're talking about the mirroring. I've heard Dr. K say that when she teaches kids to trade, it's like folding a piece of paper.
Where do you think I got it from?
Okay. So the line that you're talking about is on the fold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then you just open it up like you're opening up that piece of paper.
That's it.
Okay. Now, but using the cloud, it does the same thing even with using the cloud?
Yeah. So you can see it. You can see it exactly when you're using the cloud. If I was to add a cloud on here, I don't really talk too much about indicators, but I mean, we'll get to them. I don't even know how to spell a darn thing. But yeah, you can see it. It's basically the same thing on the cloud. Let me see if I can edit this a little bit. I can't edit. Oh, I can't. Yeah, but if once you get familiar with the cloud, okay, because the cloud tells you what? The past, the future, and the present, right?
Right.
So the cloud is going to automatically tell you, if you know based off of her strategy, the money line, right? The money line is always going to tell you which direction it's going to automatically go. So if you're looking at the money line, right, you could tell, where your next move is going to be, your next high, your next low. That's what she's talking about. She's talking about that's how she can clearly identify how far this is going to go. How low this is going to go. She already knows market structure, but she's using the indicator as a confirmation. And that's what you should always do. Use the indicators as confirmation.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know because I was going to ask you about the money line next. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions, guys?
Jeff, can you please put it back up there with the clouds one more time for me, please?
Yeah. All right, there you go.
And then you said the money line is basically giving you an indication where the trade is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the green money line, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Is this going to be recorded?
This is recorded.
Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Where will the recording be posted at?
I don't know that just yet, honestly.
Okay.
And how can you said I can ask you when we get off the line so I can try to find out about how to do the this chart?
Yeah, of course. Just send me a message on Telegram.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, any other questions before we get out of here, guys?
So on that money line, you'll cut that right in the middle of that W right there, right?
That's exactly where I cut it.
And then flip it.
I'll cut it right there. me cutting it right there is the exact same spot as me cutting it right here. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, Jeff.
What's up?
How you doing, Coach Maker?
What's going on, Coach?
All right. Do you have to have the paid-for version of the TradingView in order to have access to that extension?
You do not.
Huh?
You do not?
Okay. And can you go through that one more time?
Yep. So you just go to the 7th tab. You click bars pattern. It's going to load it up. You click on wherever your chart you want it to be. You drag it to the previous candles. You right click it and you flip it. And it's going to make the same exact image. And you can widen it out, you can bring it in, do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. All right, cool.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. So guys, I think that we are out of time, actually overtime a little bit. So I believe Shantae will be posting it. Guys, if this session helped you guys out any, I just want you to throw some fire for me in the chat for me. If this session helped you guys out, just throw some fire in the chat for me. I want to see something. Woo! Love it. Love it. Type in fire if you need to. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Guys, I swear you guys keep me motivated. That's why I'm going to be here every Friday for you. All right. So, guys, without further ado, I thank each and every last one of you guys for definitely hopping on. Definitely shout me out on Facebook. If you think this session was good, shout me out YouTube, Facebook, follow me on the Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. And guys, I will see you guys next Friday. All right. You guys have a good night.